What if you did? What if you lied? What if I avenge? What if eye for an eye? Today, on my own podcast, we break down What If? Hello, my friend. We meet again. Welcome to my own podcast, the only Creed podcast that we know of. My name is Andrew Colin, and with me today, as always, is my co-host, the Starsky to my hutch, Reid Fenlaw. What's up, Reid?
What if I said hello back to you right now?
Then we'd be starting a conversation.
Hello.
Hello.
That's awesome.
That is how a lot of conversations begin.
Mm-hmm.
Reid, a lot has happened since the last time we spoke.
Really?
Both personally and in the world of music.
Oh, no. You're about to unload on me your personal problems, aren't you?
Oh, like always.
Great.
These are mostly just therapy sessions for me.
Cool.
If you haven't put that together already. But the big news, taking my world by storm and the music community, Oasis reunites.
About time.
Huge.
They buried the hatchet.
Allegedly.
Well, at least for some money.
Yes. I don't know if you know this about me, but Oasis is probably my favorite band, second favorite band.
Really?
Up there, yeah.
Wow.
I've seen Noel Gallagher solo probably 4 times, maybe 5, and Liam 2 or 3.
During the split, were you team Noel or team Liam?
It's a complicated and loaded question, but I think overall Noel made generally music I liked a little more.
Okay.
But I think Liam puts on a better show. So it's almost like together they'd be a perfect band.
Way to waffle and not choose a side.
I didn't waffle, I pancaked because I prefer those.
Well,
the point is, I never got to see them when they were together because they broke up around 2009. So I was at an age where I could have seen them, but I didn't really get into them until, unfortunately, they'd already broken up.
Well, I'm pleased for you.
Thank you.
And you got to wonder.
Wonderwall.
Are they?
Sorry.
You got to Wonderwall. Are they doing this because, I mean, they're obviously seeing other bands like the band that this podcast is about kind of having a resurgence and going on tour and selling out venues and making money and having fun again? Like, don't you think that plays a part in it? They're like, dude, we could totally tour on like 25-year-old songs.
I think that plays a part. I think the prevailing theory is that Noel and his long-term wife, Sarah McDonald, broke up, or divorced the beginning of the year after they'd separated. And apparently in the divorce settlement, she made like 20 million pounds and got the house or something. So, and apparently I guess Liam and his ex-wife now had a really bad relationship. So I think the theory is that Noel needs money. And now that at least one part is out of the picture, that tumultuous relationship between his brother and his wife is done with. He's like, well, might as well make some fucking money.
Hey, whatever the means are, I'm happy they'll be out and about soon. That's cool.
I tried to get tickets, not knowing if I'd even be able to go, because obviously all the shows right now are booked for the UK. But I did not get any.
They've already announced the tour?
Yeah, that's all they're doing so far is just touring. I don't know if they'll make original music yet, or new music, I should say, as of now. But I think people are worried that the tour dates are set for next year, next summer. So people are like, well, they still be together by then.
Yeah. It could 100% fall apart.
It could implode
again.
Yeah. But yeah, as of now, all the shows are in London, Manchester, and I think maybe in Ireland, Scotland.
That's tight.
So hopefully they come to the US and we can see them, but who knows?
I don't. You should, because it's your second favorite band.
I think they're going to be happy with the results they see from these touring dates. So hopefully they'll be like, well, we'll come to the U.S.
I feel like they're one of those bands that people will be starving to see. They had such big hits in the mid,
for sure,
90s. People are going to be starving to see them.
The thing too is, which is one of those things that shouldn't bother me, but kind of does. But you know how there are people that are really big fans of bands, and that when they see someone else wear that band's T-shirt, they're like, name 3 songs.
Yes.
I'm kind of like that in a way, only because I was listening to a podcast I like that's a football podcast, and the host notoriously doesn't know anything about music, And he's like, what's that song they have? Like, don't look like Sally Can Wait. Like, I don't know. But he got tickets and he's going. And he doesn't know shit about them. And I'm like, I couldn't get tickets.
Well, that's not what ticketing is based on, Andrew.
It should be who wants it most.
First come, first serve.
No. They need to ask you like quiz questions
like,
in the queue.
Whoever was the goodest boy and girl gets front row tickets.
It's not a matter of good and bad. It's a matter of who's hungriest.
Yeah, good and bad means if you're the goodest boy if you know all the songs.
Well, I would certainly be one of the goodest boys in the United States.
You're a good boy.
Thanks, bud. What about you?
I don't have earth-shattering news like that. But dude, I'm pumped for What If. Like I really am. Obviously I'll save my score till the end, but yeah, my excitement for this episode and this song is high. It's high level excitement.
Well, as we alluded to last time, this album really starts off strong.
It does.
Are You Ready was obviously one to me that I think punches a hole in the wall, deserving of a high score, and I think this song just follows up really well.
Yeah. Would you like to know some facts about it?
Yeah, if you just want to get into it, you've got nothing off your chest for this therapy session.
I mean, I really don't. I'm pretty good. I appreciate you asking.
Mm-hmm.
I think any issues I'm having are overshadowed by the excitement to do this podcast, and as soon as we wrap this, I will probably cry in my car the entire way home.
Okay.
Thinking about reality again. But just for now, dude, I'm high as a kite. I'm great.
One other thing I wanted to say about music news is that Linkin Park was having like a really big announcement that they're counting down to. I don't know if you saw this. And then like the countdown was supposed to end on Wednesday, the day after Oasis announced they're getting back together to tour. But then it just started counting up again.
What?
My theory is A, they're just trolling everybody, or B, they initially planned for some huge announcement on Wednesday, and then they saw that Oasis announced that they're getting back together, and they didn't want to be overshadowed by that news. So they're just like, let's delay our announcement until September 5th, which is, I think, when they're apparently announcing something.
I bet it's B.
I think so, too.
Like, why would you just troll people for no reason?
I think it's pretty unfortunate timing the initial time around to be like the day after Oasis, just because like it's been 15 years that people have been clamoring for a reunion. So now they're like, ooh, let's wait. But people think they're going to announce like a reunion tour with like a new singer.
Sean Paul?
I think it's Sean Paul.
Yeah,
is the most natural replacement for Chester.
That'd be awesome, dude. I can see that being a fit.
Yeah, I would love to see him sing Numb.
Either Sean Paul or Jay Sean or Shaggy, maybe.
Jason Derulo, I could see doing
Jason Derulo. Dude, don't just say his name. You got to sing it.
Jason Derulo.
Thank you. Well, that's cool.
There's
a lot going on right now in the world of music.
It's an exciting time to be a fan of certain kinds of music. The kind that I like.
A weird way to say that, but
I'm a weird guy.
Here we go, Andrew.
Let's do it.
What If was written, of course, by Scott and Mark.
Naturally.
Songs are. It is the second song off Human Clay.
Good fact.
It was released as a single on January 31st, 2000, as the second single off of Human Clay.
I was 9 years old.
I was not.
Okay.
I was 19 years old.
That's the same thing.
Hell yeah, bro. Generally considered to be one of Creed's heaviest songs, like most metal songs. The intro to the song, it goes pretty slow for like 45 seconds.
Yeah, it has like I don't know how to classify it as. It sounds like a video game sand level.
What is a sand level?
Like it would take place somewhere in the Middle East.
What?
People will get it.
Okay. Someone help me get it, because I don't know that I do.
Okay.
But that intro, according to Mark, was inspired by...
Please say video game sand level.
The Rolling Stones song, Paint It Black, from 1966. Do you know that song?
I do. I do kind of hear that. The tonality sounds reminiscent of that.
So...
Which everyone knows, if you talk to Mick Jagger, he was inspired by the sand level in Sonic 2.
Yeah, and circle gets the square.
Yep.
I thought that was a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. I totally hear it now.
The song reached number 3 on the Billboard Mainstream Rock Chart. So this was, by all accounts, a commercial success.
Nice.
Here's some really fun facts.
Ooh, I like having fun.
Yeah. It was in the movie Scream 3, which came out in the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And not just on the soundtrack, which it was on the soundtrack. It was the first song on the soundtrack.
Good soundtrack.
It's also source music that is in the first scene, which means that it's actually playing like in the film, like
the
in
plot.
in the scene.
Yeah.
So it gets blasted on a stereo that comes on suddenly while this woman is alone at her house, and she has to like walk around the house and goes and turns it off.
Random.
And then, of course, ends up getting attacked and killed by the Ghostface killer, the notorious killer from Scream.
Well, that does explain the music video, which I'm
Yes.
sure you're going to dive into next.
Oh, I will.
I watched that. I have not seen Scream or Scream. Was it first Scream? Scream 3.
Scream 3.
I don't think I've seen any of them. I'm a loser.
Well, you're maybe young to watch those movies.
True. Also, I'm not a big scary movie guy.
Yeah, they were good. One other fun fact or two more about Scream 3
Oh, jeez.
is that the soundtrack, Creed helped produce the entire soundtrack.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Because it's not like they're making music for Scream. They're like, let's pick this song.
They probably helped curate. Just
pick this Chili Pepper song in there.
Yep. But either way, they were very involved with this film. One cool thing is the first lyric that plays in the movie, in that scene, is, "What if I avenge? What if I for an eye?"
Ooh.
And then she gets killed.
One of the more ominous lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Creepy.
Transitions nicely to the music video,
Mm-hmm.
which is just a spoof of the movie Scream 3.
Yeah, I was confused. So I'm glad we're clearing this up.
The music video, if you haven't seen it, people who are listening, it opens with David Arquette playing his character Dewey from the Scream franchise, answering a phone call in the security booth of Sunrise Studios, which is a fictional movie studio in the movie Scream 3, where they are filming the fictional horror movie Stab.
The best kind of movies are movies within movies within movies.
So, yeah, they basically were probably the inspiration for Inception.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can credit Creed with that.
Or at least
this
David
music
Arquette. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna credit
Okay.
Creed. And then all the guys from Creed proceed to pair off with different women, and all the guys one by one get attacked by the Ghostface killer.
But we should also say that for some reason Mark Tremonti is dunking a basketball.
Yeah, Mark Tremonti is dunking and shooting hoops when he gets attacked. The other guys are in process of or about to hook up with these chicks.
There's some sensual belly kissing and stuff too.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I think Scott Phillips was into it.
Doing some serious smooching with that actress.
Yeah, I liked it.
The belly smooching or the music video?
I like the belly smooching. There's nothing more sensual than belly smooching, especially when you call it belly smooching.
What else are you supposed to call it?
I don't know, I tenderly kissed your navel.
This is why
I want a belly smooch.
This is why I'm the romance novel writer.
Yeah. Chapter 7, belly smooching.
He belly smooched her as she lay down on the park bench.
So post belly smooching, after all the guys get attacked, all the girls end up freaked out, screaming because they've run away when the guys are getting attacked, and they all kind of meet up in the street.
Also, isn't it raining again?
It starts to
It's
rain.
always fucking raining.
It starts to rain because that's scary.
Of course.
So they're all on the street freaking out. One Ghostface killer comes out. They're freaking out more. And then 3 more Ghostface killers come out. It's what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
But then one of the girls
Surprise.
rips off the mask. And guess who it is?
Scott Stapp.
It's Scott Stapp.
Scott!
And then it's the rest of the boys under the other 3 masks. And they were just playing a ha-ha on the girls.
How'd they not realize that earlier?
I don't know.
I guess there is one final note that it ends on a twist, right? Doesn't the actual killer come out and surprise David Arquette's character? Lands on him or something?
That is at least implied, yes. Over the radio, you hear the voice of the killer saying, "We're not finished yet," or something like that.
Right.
And then leaping from somewhere, some roof, about to land on David Arquette.
Right. And then one other quick note I got to say about the music video is that I did notice Scott Stapp's shirt was buttoned and unbuttoned pretty frequently.
Yep. Yeah, you got to keep him guessing, man.
Yeah, you never know if he's going to show those abs or not.
Literally in one shot, it's wide open, blowing in the wind along with his hair. And then 10 seconds later, it's fully buttoned again.
It's great.
Yeah. Okay. I know we're eager and ready to get into the lyrics. I do have one more fun fact that I know you'll appreciate. I did.
Okay.
I went and watched this performance of the song multiple times. I was unaware of it until I was doing the research for this. This song was performed on American Idol Season 5
What?
in 2006 by one of our favorites, Chris Daughtry.
Oh my God. How have I not seen this?
He slayed it.
Of course he did.
Simon Cowell hated it.
Oh, fuck off,
Yeah,
Simon.
fuck off, Simon. He told Chris it was self-indulgent and inappropriate, and that Creed wouldn't be caught dead on American Idol, and that he needs to rethink his song choices.
We need to get everybody in a room together and hash this out.
I'm officially boycotting American Idol Season 5
Yes, me too.
from 18 years ago.
I need to watch this performance, though.
You do.
Oh, man.
It's just, it's a young Chris Daughtry just belting out Creed and then getting lambasted by Simon Cowell.
What did Randy and Paula think about it?
Randy thought it was not his best performance.
Fuck off, Randy.
Paula sounded like she was going to give a bad note, and then she said, Chris, forgive my stutter. What if I'm your biggest fan?
Nice, Paula.
Nice, Paula. Well done.
Well
We're boycotting
done.
everyone but Paula.
Yeah, but especially Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, especially Seacrossed.
That's wild. I can't wait to watch that after this.
Yeah, it was cool. With that,
Mm-hmm.
are you ready
Nice.
to get into What If?
I am ready, Reid.
All right. I can't find the rhyme in all my reason. Lost sense of time and all seasons. Feel I've been beaten down by the words of men who have no grounds.
Okay, so I want to start off by saying that I think this song is one of Scott's like better lyrical adventures.
Agree.
There's definitely a better way I could have phrased that, which is why I'm not the lyricist.
Agree.
But I do think there's a lot of it's I don't know, it's a little more profound I think than it usually is, for lack of a better word. Anyway, I can't find the rhyme in all my reason. I really like that line. But I think it just alludes to a lost sense of time in all seasons, just like he's lost emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and trying to find the rhyme in his life, like his mojo, his reason for being alive. And then feel I've been beaten down by the words of men who have no grounds makes me feel like he's saying he's sort of been misguided by figures in his life. I just think when he says like men who have no grounds, is like people that should have no bearing on how you live your life. It's just like, yeah, you can say I'm a piece of shit, but like, what the hell do you know? You're not my God, or you're not some guy who's like capable of moral judgment.
For the record, you are a piece of shit.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But you don't have the authority to tell me that. Only God does.
Well, I do.
And Morgan Freeman.
Me, Morgan Freeman, and God.
Okay.
I think you're pretty spot on.
Okay, cool.
Your interpretation here. Yeah, I think he's saying like, he's lost as to what his why in life is, what his rhyme in life is. You know, I think the lost sense of time in all seasons. Like if you've ever gone through a low point or like been depressed, like those hours and days and weeks and months can all roll together, and it's a really weird, weird thing. So I think he's saying he's low, like he's been beaten down, and then words of men who have no grounds. Yeah, I think he's saying that people are saying things about him who have no place even talking about him. Like,
yeah, what do you know about it?
Yeah, but I also think that he's acknowledging before he says that what they are saying is affecting him.
Yeah,
but he shouldn't even be dealing with it in the first place.
Totally, like beaten down by these words that like should fly off him, but don't.
Mm-hmm. All right. Can't sleep beneath the trees of wisdom when your axe has cut the roots that feed them. Forked tongues in bitter mouths can drive a man to bleed from inside out.
I really like this verse too, because I feel like it's very specific and unusual for Scott compared to what he has sort of been writing. For the first part, the trees of wisdom and the axe that's cut the roots that feed them makes me feel like he's saying he can't really absorb the truth and power of the wisdom when it's being taught to him through people that aren't doing it correctly. Like there is infinite wisdom out there and knowledge, but like when someone is cutting the roots that feeds them correctly and teaching them to them without the proper care that you would have to treat a tree of wisdom is the message will be manipulated. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
And then forked tongues and bitter mouths is like so specific. And I'm not sure exactly what it means. Forked tongue makes me think it's like a snake's tongue. And a bitter mouth just means, I think, someone with bad intentions. So like someone who has bad intentions and a snake's tongue, someone who's like conniving and evil, like the snake in the Garden of Eden. When those words from someone who has bad intentions affect you, that's what causes you to be torn from inside out. So if you let those people with bad intentions, if you let their words get to you, it's what really can drive you crazy and make you hurt from the inside out.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
We're pretty aligned here too. Yeah, I think he's saying that the people are deliberately sabotaging him with the line, "They can't sleep beneath the trees of wisdom when your axes cut the roots that feed them."
Do you think that also... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think that also is... I feel like this might be an illusion. Now, I haven't thought of this before, but now we're talking about like the tree and the apple and Adam and Eve.
I briefly considered that too. I don't think he's saying that, and I'll tell you why at the end of the song when we're getting into meaning.
Okay.
And there's no mention of an apple.
Yeah, but what...
But I know the tree and the snake.
Wasn't there something special about that tree? What was it called? Do you remember? Was it the tree of wisdom or something?
I think it was the
tree of knowledge.
The great redwood tree.
No, it definitely wasn't that.
The tree of life.
Maybe.
I actually don't know.
I think it may have been the tree of knowledge. Someone out there with a better understanding of the Bible or recollection of the Bible can tell us.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
We have no access to the Bible, so we have no way of knowing.
He's being sabotaged. Like you said, there's so much out there you could be getting that is good and nurturing that is being deliberately sabotaged.
Mm-hmm.
That is affecting his growth or his access to things that can help him grow. Man, forked tongues and bitter mouths can drive a man to bleed from inside out it might be my favorite Creed lyric.
It's a good one.
It literally might be. It's so vivid and like unique. Like I haven't heard a line like that in any other song. I don't know. It's just so visual to me. Like I see it.
I was just gonna say it paints a really good picture.
Yeah.
By like these descriptors that are a little more unique.
Yeah. Like you said, I think forked tongue is obviously. I think it's referencing a snake. I don't know if it's the snake from the Bible or just snake. I agree with you on the bitter mouths meaning too, and then. Like you said, I think it's the things that we take in or metaphorically ingest opinions of others, just like evil that we take in will slowly kill you if you let it. It'll slowly rot you, your brain, your heart, your soul, whatever. So that like can drive a man to bleed from inside out. I don't know. I just think that's such a dope line, starting with forked tongues.
Yeah. I also think that kind of takes on a whole new meaning with just the advent of like social media. Because like that's where you're really subject to people's opinions now, and you didn't used to be.
Yeah, it's like this. It's just those opinions that have always existed, but now everyone has a fucking megaphone.
Yeah,
attached to their mouths and keyboards.
Your podcast sucks.
Yeah,
you should kill yourself.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah, thanks guys.
But don't worry, we're not gonna bleed from inside out.
No,
we have thin skin, but we just cry about it to each other.
Yeah, it helps thicken our skin.
Yeah, we're cool. So, hell of a first verse. Chorus. What if you did? What if you lied? What if I avenge? What if eye for an eye?
I think this is sort of getting at like Scott saying, you people out there telling lies and being assholes, like you should think about the consequences that may arise should people fight back. What if what if you were lying to me? What if you are a piece of garbage? Well, like, then what if I hurt you the same way you hurt me, like eye for an eye? Then that'll like your bad actions will lead to my bad actions against you.
Yeah, I think I have that he's like playing fantasy hypotheticals in his head, confronting someone who he feels has wronged him.
Yes.
And I think throughout the song, also the repetition of what if, specifically, well, we'll get there, but specifically at the end, but starting here, is kind of encouraging getting that wheel turning in the listener's head to me of like,
Yeah.
what's your what if? Because sometimes it's a standalone phrase, but I think the what if you did, like, did what? I think it's kind of open-ended to get the wheels turning in people's heads who are listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, yeah, I mean, I think you're spot on. It's pretty straightforward to me, I think.
What was the eye for an eye guy in ancient Egypt?
What?
Oh man, that's like the
Caesar.
No, that so wrong. The
King Tut.
No, closer. It definitely wasn't Egypt. Maybe it was like Mesopotamia.
Bob Saget.
An ancient civilization had like a set of rules on like a tablet, maybe in cuneiform. And Hammurabi, got it. I fucking killed that. Jeopardy, contact me. Hammurabi's code. All I remember is the big thing was like if you stab somebody, they get to stab you back.
Yeah.
It was like an ancient set of laws, like the beginning of law.
Am I making it up, or was it the full phrase, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth?
It could have been. I think that sounds right.
It does sound right, but
Yeah.
it could also just sound good because I'm smart and made it up.
If anyone knows, let us know. We have no way of finding that out.
We have no resources.
No advent.
We are fully cut off. We're off the grid.
Off the grid.
No grid. Cool. You want to hear the second
Let's move into the
second verse?
Let's do it.
I've seen the wicked fruit of your vine destroy the man who lacks a strong mind. Human pride sings a vengeful song inspired by the times you've been walked on.
Again, this is, I think, another powerful verse. I've seen the wicked fruit of your vine just makes me think he's aware of people's bad intentions and saying that, like, even if someone doesn't have the same strong sense of will that he has, then it's really easy for those people to be manipulated to whatever the bad person's desire is. Human pride sings a vengeful song inspired by the times you've been walked on. Makes me think that just people have like a natural inclination toward vengeance, especially when they've been taken advantage of and been made aware of that vengeance. So like people are proud of who they like, not people have like a sense of pride about when they've been taken advantage of, that like their only method of fulfilling that hurt to their pride is through vengeance.
People are going to think we made our notes together because we're like, and again, I'm not just following yours. I've already got mine.
I see. It's in blue.
Yep. So the notes I have for these 4 lines, specifically, okay, so I've seen the wicked fruit of your vine destroy the man who lacks a strong mind. He's seen the actions of people and their evil. I think the fruit is something that is like a biblical reference.
Yeah.
Of like it's like the fruit, not words. So I mean, it's like your actions, not what you say you're going to do.
Quick aside, what kind of apple do you think the apple from the tree was?
Honeycrisp.
Okay, I was going to say Pink Lady.
No one can turn down a Honeycrisp apple.
Is that your favorite apple?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I think mine is a Pink Lady or a Cosmic Crisp.
I would have eaten the apple if it was a certified Honeycrisp, even if it was handed to me by Satan himself.
I think God should have really made them like a Red Delicious.
Yep.
Or a
something
Gala.
shitty. Or
Yeah,
like Granny Smith.
Yeah. No one would have eaten those.
She would have been like, a green apple? Get fucked, bro. And
Yeah.
the world would be perfect.
Come on, God.
Come on, apples. And destroy the man who lacks a strong mind. I think he's saying, look, sheep who don't know any better will allow the evil person to poison their thoughts.
Yeah.
Kind of a reference to the end of the first verse of make you bleed from inside out. Like, this is, yep, brain rot via sheep consumption.
Mm-hmm.
Human pride sings a vengeful song inspired by the times you've been walked on. We're pretty much in lockstep here. I think he's saying that when humans are wrong, our nature's to get even, and we'll use as fuel the times that we feel like we've been fucked over.
Count of Monte Cristo.
Yep.
Other revenge movies.
Hanabi Baba.
Is that a real thing?
Isn't that who we were just talking about? The eye for an eye?
Hammurabi.
Yep, Hanabi Baba.
Okay.
Moving on. My stage is shared by many millions who lift their hands up high because they feel this. We are one. We are strong. The more you hold us down, the more we press on.
So I think this one is pretty straightforward, and I feel like it's just like a nod to the crowd as fans, saying that these are sort of words or sentiments that we all share. Lift their hands up high just makes me feel like he's at a concert, and because they vibe with the song and they feel it inside themselves. And then I think he's saying that his fans and himself and we as people are are strong when we recognize that these truths, and you can try to hold us down. You could try to keep trying to manipulate us, but together we're stronger and we'll push forward no matter how much you try. Speaking of which, the more you hold us down, the more we press on is one of my favorite Creed lines as well. Even though it's like not super unique, I don't know, it just flows so well. So it's like one of those lines that I catch myself like singing to myself. Just the way the flow of that line, I think, is so sick.
There's multiple instances I feel like that in this song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's by stage. I think he's saying it just. I think he's talking about his really position on the subject of being wrong, and understanding that like millions and millions of people feel the same way that I do, and he knows that. I think they're lifting their hands up high because that's people do that at shows when it's like a really meaningful moment or something they identify with. So he knows there's people who feel the same way. We are one, we are strong. The more you hold us down, the more we press on. Just finding commonality and strength in numbers, and then saying we will show forceful fortitude in the face of adversity.
Good words.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That flows off the tongue too.
It did.
Thanks, man.
Don't want to repeat it though.
Is that one of the favorite things I've ever said? Your favorite things I've ever said?
I should try to make a list of my favorite things you ever said.
Yeah, there's a lot of them though. There's probably too many to count. Too high for you, you idiot.
I can't count past 73.
It's pretty high though.
No,
I've never counted that high.
Yeah.
I don't have that many fingers.
We'll do a pod one day where we just count as high as we can.
That'll be pretty short. Then we get back into the chorus, which we'll skip over. I know I can't hold my hate inside my mind because what consumes your thoughts controls your life. So I'll just ask a question, a lonely, simple question. I'll just ask one question.
For the first part, I feel like he's just saying that even if hate lives just inside your mind, inside you, it's going to come out through your actions at some point. What consumes your thoughts, like if you're thinking about how you've been wronged and you're thinking about hate all the time, it's going to control you. It's going to affect your life and how you live it. And then the last part, I think it's almost like a warning. He's just going to ask one thing, just a simple thing. What if we take action and take charge of our lives?
I dig that.
Yeah.
We're still similar here. I'm maybe a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's saying he knows it's unhealthy for negative thoughts and emotions to live inside the head. Kind of a theme from the song. I think that what consumes your thoughts controls your life. It's pretty straightforward. Brains can be very singularly focused runaway trains if we let them.
Thanks a lot, brain.
Thanks, God.
Yeah.
Or Satan.
Hammurabi.
Or Nick Nolte or whoever did all this.
Yeah.
Hammurabi.
Not Harambe.
Not Harambe. Bless Harambe.
Gee.
He's
R.I.P.
He's guiltless. So yeah, I think that's very true. People go in these mental spirals, and it's often just because there's one thing that is all consuming.
Mm-hmm.
It can be bad. Like probably everyone's been there to some degree,
sure.
Whether it was for a day or a month or a year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucks. And then just setting up the question, a lonely, simple question, one question. I mean, he's got a question.
He mentioned it a few times.
He's got a fucking question for us. I think what if is one of the biggest questions that people have in life, just like replaying things that have happened or playing ahead to the future of what if I'd done that? What if I do this? What if I'd said that?
Marvel's what if?
Yep.
What if Ant-Man was actually real big?
Yeah, what if Andrew wasn't a communist intent on eating America from the inside out?
No, we're done with that bit.
We're not. As long as you were a communist, I will never stop defending America.
Okay, keep defending it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think he's just setting up, what if we made different choices? What if I treated you how you treated me? What if you treated me better? It could be anything.
What if I went to prom with Sarah McNulty instead of Jane Hubbard?
Dude, what if I hadn't caught Christine McEnany making out with Derek Vaughn underneath the bleachers? Would I have had a better youth because I didn't know that people could be bad yet?
Are those real people?
I may have changed names to protect the innocent.
Shout out
to
them.
Or I might not have. because
Guess we'll find out soon.
No one deserves
I
protection.
forgot their name already.
There's only a couple of more unique lines.
Okay.
So I'm going to jump to those. We have a bunch of what ifs and then the chorus again. And then we have, I guess this is the last unique line really, is what if your words could be judged like a crime?
That sort of harkens for me back to the beginning when he mentions the men on, what is it, on who have no grounds. Like, what if those same men who've been telling lies and making people feel like shit, like what if they could be tried for that instead of just get away scot-free? So it just makes me feel like he's trying to say, like, be mindful of what you say because your words impact others.
Yep, that's pretty much what I got. Just words are powerful and affect people greatly, and that if the effects were measured and scrutinized like they were as if it was a crime, it wouldn't be pretty.
So please don't tell us our podcast sucks.
Yeah. If you do it in a nice way.
Yeah. Constructive.
All right. And then we finish off with 20 more what ifs.
Okay. Thanks for counting those.
There are 53 total what ifs in the song, FYI.
Whoa, that was the same amount of yeahs in wrong way.
No way.
I think it was 53.
Do you think that's intentional?
Oh my God. Add this to the conspiracy theory checklist.
I tried to ask 2 different AIs like how many there were, and they're like, we can't access specific lyrics for copyright reasons. Like, you'll have to count them. I suggest listening and counting on your own.
Fuck off,
like, fuck
AI.
you.
What's the point of this?
So I counted after pasting the lyrics in, and there's 53.
Yeah.
But I also think that the large number of them, setting aside the fact that it matches the 53 yeahs.
It may have been 52 yeahs, but either way, 50 something.
I think the fact that there's so many and the song ends that way is very intentional, because like there are 1,000 what ifs in life. I think it's like find your own. Like what's your what if? And also just like backing up a little bit, like after the bridge, man, Scott's got some extra. He's singing with something extra, and it's from the back of his throat. Like it's fucking deep, and it's harder than the first all the what ifs before it.
Yeah. It builds.
Dude, it builds so good.
So well.
So good.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's the song according to us. We do have some information from the men themselves. If you'd like to hear.
I forgot about that.
If you'd like to hear some of it.
Yes, please.
Yep. So in Sinner's Creed, Scott says that he wrote the lyrics to vent about being categorized in unfair ways. He said he didn't want to be seen as a Christian poster boy because he was drinking and smoking weed, and he resented the people who put him up in that position, who held him up like that. He wrote, quote, "The mislabeling caused me discomfort. We started the band in a purely secular rock tradition. We came out of a time when rock and roll ruled the radio. We didn't want to be Stryper, a Christian band who openly sought converts," end quote. So Stryper was like the first like heavy metal Christian band who got popular. So I don't know why they're out there catching strays in his book, but
fuck you, Stryper. You can go fuck yourself along with Simon Cowell and Ryan Seacrest.
Exactly. You're on the list.
You're on the list.
So yeah, that's according to him. It was because the song is to those people who are like putting him in that box and saying certain things about him when he felt like that was unfair. That's really actually all I could find from the band about it, but it clearly says what they're thinking.
But like, what's the what if there? What if what? What if you didn't view me as this Christian guy?
Yeah, and I think like, what if he treated them this way? What if he was throwing labels on them that they were uncomfortable with, that caused them mental anguish or caused people to look at them a way that they didn't necessarily want to be looked at?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I took it.
Okay, maybe like part of it, I guess I could send there like a note to himself to not be affected by the labeling of people that don't know him, because he doesn't want to be affected by these people with no grounds.
It could be.
The grounds being like they don't have any basis to judge him on if they don't actually know him as a person.
That is after because I made my notes and then read their stuff, but when you were saying, could it be like the apple from the tree, like in the Garden of Eden? That's the only reason I didn't think that is that after reading these quotes, I think it's about the men who have no grounds are the people who are putting them in that box and holding them up to the standard they didn't want to be held to.
Right.
So I think he's calling those people snakes, I think.
Get your forked tongue back in your mouth.
Yep. Stop French kissing snakes.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah. It's kind
And possibly poisonous.
depending on the snake.
Yeah.
If it's your like run-of-the-mill gopher snake, kiss away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, just don't. Is that how you kiss?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's weird. That's really all I got, man. I'd love to hear your final thoughts and your score for the song. How many yeahs out of 5 you score it? You did give "Are You Ready," the song, the lead single, a 4.75.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I scored it a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hear your final thoughts and your score.
So before I get into the specifics of the song, I just want to say that it's late in the afternoon and I'm getting a little hungry, and nothing sounds more appetizing than a fajita plate from Chili's.
Which could only be made better by a spicy margarita and maybe an appetizer of Southwestern egg rolls from Chili's. Chili's, where friends go to fuck.
The only restaurant that we know of.
Sponsor us.
So with that said, yeah, I think I covered a lot of it. I think that the lyrics of this song are ones that are a little bit more impressionable on me and make more of a difference to how I feel about it, because I feel like they're clear and they're not like preachy in any way. They're not like so obvious that it hurts, but it's like enough subtlety that it's but understandability that it's still powerful. I do like the intro that was clearly inspired by Sonic 2.
Yep.
From the sand levels.
Sand levels, yep.
And I also love during the bridge, sort of that riff that's just like, because it really feels like we're building to something. I don't have many bad things to say about it. I think the ending maybe is like slightly repetitive, but I think that doesn't bother me as much because Scott's vocals do feel a little bit more aggressive and emotionally charged at that point, so it's still interesting. It still rocks really hard, and I think it's a really good Creed song. I think it's one of the best songs in the album, and it's deserving of a single. And I think the more I talk about it, the more I think I have to give it 4.5 yes.
Oh, that's high praise.
Yeah.
That's a really good score.
Because I think we've talked about our scale, but like if 5 is the best Creed song possible, then I think this is up there. Because I guess the rating would change if we're just a 1 to 5 on a scale of like songs ever made.
Yeah, this is in the vacuum of Creed songs.
Yeah, I think that's important to justify because there has to be 5s by nature of our scale, I feel like.
Yeah,
and I think this one is punching toward the top.
I think that's very insightful, Andrew.
Thank you.
This song is maybe the first song that we have been like the most lockstep in, like as far as meaning. But I think that goes to what you said of I love the lyrics in this song. I think they're poignant and they're deep without being
poignant is the good word.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not like too vague or too intellectual, where it's like you can't figure. They're accessible. I think.
Yeah.
They're poignant but accessible.
Good word again.
Again, the forked tongues line is probably my favorite Creed line of any song. I love just the riffs at the beginning and then again pre-bridge are just like so heavy. It feels like it's just like slogging along through like
the sand,
a sand level. Yes, like I love that. And the song is 5 minutes and 18 seconds long and does not feel like it's that long.
No, it feels more like a 4.
There's some songs that go over 5. You're like, okay, I get it. Even if I like the first 3.5 minutes, I'm like, let's wrap this up. Like, let's finish cooking this. And then, like I mentioned, we were going through the song. That after the bridge, Scott just brings so much extra energy into it, and like he's singing from like a different part of his diaphragm and throat. Like it's just so much more intense. And man, I've had a fucking blast, Andrew, listening to this song like over and over.
Hell yeah.
The last week. After doing so and ripping through the lyrics, you know, I always, on the drive here, which is always about a 45 minute drive for me, I just listen to whatever song we're doing on repeat like one final time to sear it into my brain. What If is my favorite Creed song, and I'm giving it a 5.
Wow. Doing your confetti.
Dude, it goes hard. The lyrics hit home. it's deep without being exclusionary. Like it's just, I don't know. It's my favorite right now. It's my favorite Creed song.
That's awesome.
I might score another one at 5.
I think you totally can.
But like, dude, this is hard to top from front to back, from the combination of music, the heaviness of the riffs, the escalation of the vocals, the meaningfulness of the words. Yeah, man, this is a chef's kiss Creed song for me.
I can't believe you blew your 5 load before me.
I did. I didn't think I would, and I wasn't planning it, but I was thinking about it last night. It's like I don't have a choice. As I was making my notes, like I didn't really have anything where I'm like I would change this. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a 5. It's 5 yeahs, bro.
Hell yeah, I love that. I was gonna say that I wanted to add while you were talking that I think a part of the reason that the lyrics stick out, probably to you and me, is just the rhythm with which he sings the lyrics. I think there's something so poignant about that, like. I don't know. Just really, you really hear them more than I think you do in other songs.
Well, even like the line you singled out, the more they hold us down, the more we press on. It's that, yeah, it's the flow of it. It's like the more they hold us down, the more we press on.
Yeah, it sits with you.
It's sonically a very pleasing song to make. I find myself, if you're listening, you're not going to see me, but like I'm doing like the
head bobbing,
the real, but the heavy head bobbing, not just like
you almost hit the microphone.
This is a fun beat. Like I'm like throwing my head forward when I'm listening to the song bobbing.
Damn,
I love it.
So now the rest of the podcast, you're just gonna be like kind of half-assing, I guess.
Yeah, I'm done, man. I'm kind of mentally checked out now. I don't even give a fuck. Sorry, Andrew.
That's okay.
Good luck with the rest of the podcast.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll figure out a way to do it by myself, I guess.
I'm sure I'll see you around.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our first 5.
Woo!
And it certainly won't be our last. I mean, we almost had one last week.
We were close.
I was close. I was so close to giving it a 5. Maybe I should have. I don't know.
It's too late.
It's too late.
You can't go back. I beat you. I beat you just like I do in everything.
It's crazy because the album starts off with 2 such strong songs, and I'm wondering where do we go from here? Because I know the next song Beautiful?
That's correct. We have Beautiful, Say I, and Wrong Way are the next 3.
Oh, I can't wait for Wrong Way.
Beautiful's up next.
Wrong Way will be a good one. You'll see why if you don't know already.
I mean, what do you mean? What if I don't know?
I meant the audience.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No.
It's like, I know some shit, Andrew. So
I do know some things.
Yeah, some things.
Well, Reid, with our scores out of the way and the song Analyze, is there anything you have left to say? Besides how much you love this banger?
What if this episode never ended and we just talked about this song forever?
We could still go on a lot more about belly kissing.
What if...
Did I say smooching the first time or kissing?
I think it was just belly smooching.
Yeah, belly smooching.
What if belly smooching went mainstream?
It should.
Yeah.
You know what's even better than a belly smooch if you really want to turn your partner on?
I can't wait to hear this.
Like like one of these, like... what's it called?
Not Farkle.
Farkle?
What is it? It has a specific name.
It's like a red...
if you're just listening, it's when you just make a seal over their skin and blow, and it makes the farting noise.
Yeah.
I think it's just called the skin fart surprise.
Okay. I like that, or Farkle.
Okay.
Well, Reid, with that out of the way and our belly smooching covered, I think it's time we make our escape.
Let's go there.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. For my own podcast, I'm Andrew Colin.
I'm Reid Fenlaw. What if we said goodbye now?
Bye.
Bye.